And we're closing, like last week, we closed 10 jobs.
So, oh my God. Yeah, and those are not typical results. Like, you're getting better results than almost every single one of my other clients.
Yeah. We closed, I haven't gone through the numbers this week, but I know we closed 3 roofs on Monday.
And that's all from the leads from this program?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we closed 2 yesterday. One was a referral that we got from a lead from the program. And the other one was just from the program. So.
And then Monday you closed 3, all from the leads you've been getting from Facebook.
Yeah, so that's 5 this week that I know off the top of my head.
And 10 last week. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's awesome. And your margins are healthy?
Yeah. We're still, we're not as high as, we could be, but we float 30-35% on our margin. So on our gross margin.
That's amazing. Hey, doggy. Oh yeah, you had just gotten that when I first met you, right?
Yeah.
You had just gotten that dog, right? Yeah. That's awesome.
And now she's office dog now.
Mascot. Yep. So let's talk about what's going on with you.
Okay. Where do you want me to start?
You want to just start with, let's start from the very beginning, like how we met.
Yeah, so I kind of saw your testimonial videos pop up on Facebook and thought I would give it a try,
When you saw the testimonial videos, were you initially like, this is BS, or it doesn't seem
No, it actually seemed pretty authentic. That's the reason I decided to give it a try. So, because you see tons of the, hey, we'll get your roofing lead videos all the time, and most of them seem like a scam.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And then, so what happened next?
I decided to reach out to you, and I had been thinking about it for a few months. So by the time I had called you, I'd already mostly made a decision that I was comfortable going with the program. I just had a few questions. And then we launched the program about a month ago, and we've had tons of success with it. We're setting 20-25 appointments a week off the leads, and we have a close rate coming in off of that. So
that's awesome. When a lead comes in, what's your workflow for that? Like, are you fielding it, or?
So we have an appointment setter. She calls, schedules all the appointments, and then we have a sales team too. So one of the salesmen will hit the appointment, meet with the customer, walk them through the process, present them with a proposal. 90% of people that we deal with are, they're going to price shop a little bit because they're getting the big product, but we're probably closing in the 40 to 50% range on leads right now,
high.
Which is way high. So, it was before we were running some of the more traditional lead sharing programs. We were lucky to hit 20.
What do you attribute the difference to?
It seems like, based on conversations with some of the customers, that the way that the marketing is presented, it seems like they trust us a little bit more, and we're also it seems like we're reaching a lot of people that have already gone through, they've hit up some of the, some of the apps that are pretty common for home services. Mm-hmm. They've gotten bombarded by 20 roofers off of those sites, and then they backed off because it was too overwhelming for them. And they're seeing the advertisement, and they're like, well, we'll give these guys a try. And it's almost like a rehash. So they've already got pricing. We show up. We have pretty competitive pricing just in general. They're getting our price. We're kind of the last man through the door, which is the opposite of what you normally want to be. But the previous process was so uncomfortable for them that it's easy for us to go in, make them feel good about the process. We're not putting a lot of pressure on them. We're giving them a good price, and a lot of people are pulling the trigger. So
that's interesting. It's almost like the Angie's Lists and the Home Advisors of the world are making your job easier, because it's such a contrast between like overwhelming high pressure stuff, and then you kind of swoop in with a much more relaxed, like tranquil feeling about the whole process, and people like that. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what we're experiencing, at least in our market. So
that's really cool. What's this is kind of a side thing. I'm just curious, like is your energy when you talk to people and reach out to them the first time kind of like it is right now? Is it very relaxed and calm?
Yeah, that's our whole thing. You know, that's the basis of our company is we're not high pressure sales. You know what I mean? We're not gonna cram a price down on you. We're not gonna try to get you to sign while we're at the house. Like, we'll give you a price. The price is gonna be fair and competitive. We're gonna give you solid products. You know, most of our roofing packages are gonna be an upgrade package with another company. You know, and that's going to be our base. And our base price is going to be a little bit lower than a lot of other people's base price. So
that's really cool.
And it's good because we've always offered that, but we really have to explain it to people to sell it. You know, when we're getting a lot of these rehash leads, people have already been through all the sales pitches with all these other companies, so they understand the products at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when we tell them like, hey, we're giving you, you know, X product as a standard. It's not an upgrade. You know, it's in our base price. Our base price is going to be the same or a little bit less than most of these other guys' base.
Mm-hmm.
They already know that. Oh, hey, that's a deal. You know,
that's awesome.
It's helped us out.
That's really cool. And what about some of the numbers, like the actual numbers? Like you're spending $50 a day in ad spend.
Yeah. And we're closing, like last week we closed 10 jobs.
So, oh my God. Yeah. And those are not typical results. Like, you're getting better results than almost every single one of my other clients.
Yeah. We closed, I haven't gone through the numbers this week. But I know we closed 3 roofs on Monday.
And that's all from the leads from this program.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we closed 2 yesterday. One was a referral that we got from a lead from the program.
Uh-huh.
And the other one was just from the program. So.
And then Monday you closed 3, all from the leads you've been getting from Facebook.
Yeah, so that's 5 this week that I know off the top of my head.
And 10 last week. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's great. Awesome. And your margins are healthy?
Yeah. You know, we're not as high as, you know, we could be, but we float 30-35% on our margin. So on our gross margin.
That's amazing. Hey, doggy. Oh yeah. You had just gotten that when I first met you, right?
Yeah.
You had just gotten that dog, right? Yeah. That's awesome.
And now she's office dog now.
Mascot. Yep. Wow. So that's crazy. So, wow. What's your revenue been in the past month or so?
So we're floating a little over 200K.
Wow.
Just on the roofing.
That's so cool, dude. That's awesome. Great. That makes me so happy to hear.
Yeah.
I wish these were results that everyone got. But the interesting thing is, it's like the worst case scenario is still really good. This is just absolutely out of control, though.
Yeah. Well, the thing is we could be doing even better, I think. But our system kind of got overwhelmed at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. We had a couple of weeks where it was like, how do we handle this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've had a year, and I think last week was the first week where we had really kind of gotten our workflow to a point where it's like, okay, we can handle, 8-9 appointments a day, and we can still back to people, we can still, do all the follow-ups that we need to, all that kind of stuff. And we're still kind of, I guess, refining to keep that getting better. So.
Yeah. When we met the first time, like when we did our onboarding call together, wasn't it just you and your wife?
No, so it was me. I have a partner, my brother-in-law,
Okay.
and pretty much just us and obviously my brother-in-law is married my sister. She was helping us part-time with office work.
Okay.
But
I got you.
she committed. She was like, well, I'm going to go full-time, just setting appointments and helping with kind of inside sales, I guess, where she's helping follow up the customers and schedule the jobs. Yeah. And then we've had a salesman for a little while, but he was running, 4 appointments a day, not 10.
And now he's doing like 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. How does he do that?
He's running all the time. Yeah. So we kind of need to.
Do you have, is the appointment setter really good at like clustering them in close proximity as well?
Yeah. And that's the other thing with the way our targeting's set up. I mean, we're in 2 different, I guess, general locations in our market.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have them run like, okay, we're in Salt Lake County one day, and then we're in Utah County the next day. But anything within Salt Lake County is 20 minutes away from each other with using the freeways. And same thing with Utah County. You can get anywhere in 20 minutes. So you can go from one end. But he's been running a lot, and we do get, I guess it's just from people sharing the advertisements. We get people that are outside of that zone, because we get lots of Summit County stuff, which we're not targeting that area. And we get lots of stuff in Tooele County not targeting.
And do you take it anyway?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We'll talk. So,
yeah.
The only reason
yeah.
The only reason I didn't set those areas up initially was for that reason. So he wasn't, driving 40 minutes in between appointments. But
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's really common to get leads that are outside of your service area, because if people are friends with people outside of your service area and they like, comment, or share your content, someone outside of the service area could see it. Excuse me, and they don't know what your service area is. So, but that's really cool. What's the future look like? I mean, what are your plans moving forward?
So if we can stay on pace, we're going to try to expand the sales team a little bit. Because 10 appointments a day is too much for a person to run all the time. It's pretty.
I know. I'm getting like sweaty thinking about it.
Yeah. So we're gonna expand the sales team a little bit. We're gonna keep tweaking our sales process, but we've done lots of roofs, on a weekly basis for a long time. But we were doing tons of subcontracting, new construction, that type of stuff. So we have the manpower. We're just transitioning them to these projects now. So.
Right. So that's interesting. So you were kind of like already in the rhythm of doing a lot of jobs, but you've transitioned from subcontracting to getting your own.
Yeah, exactly. We worked for a few national companies doing re-roofing. And then, like I said, new construction is big here in Utah. So there's tons of new houses going up, and, we were doing 20 houses a week, on a, regular week last year. We just weren't obviously making the same margins we are now. So somebody else is taking the best part,
right?
And have that part. But we're kind of stepping into the driver's seat a little bit now, and this program has been a big part of that.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So more sales people, but you work from home office.
Yeah, we're actually working in getting a commercial space as well. So that'll kind of be
what will a commercial space do for you?
It'll make it so that the biggest thing from the administrative side, it'll make it so we can have everybody in one place. Right now we're doing everything over Zoom. We're doing, group is trying to develop the programs remotely where we're not really, with each other on a regular basis. I think having everyone in the central location is going to make a big difference. The other thing is we have lots of equipment it's all over the place right now. Like I got in front of my house, I've got 4 trailers parked on the street,
Oh, wow.
So I'm sure my neighbors don't like me, but it'll organized. And we do a lot of rain gutter, and we also do lots of siding. We have trailers that are set up just for metal bending, and it would be nice to actually have a shop where we can put everything and have it more organized and increase efficiency.
Have you gotten a lot of siding and gutter stuff from the roofing leads, like as like a cross marketing thing?
Not a lot of siding, but lots of rain gutter. So we always try to sell it with it, and we're pretty honest. Like, we don't need it, we're not going to push it. But when we see people need rain gutter, we're going to bring it up.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then what is that? I mean, how much does that add to the project?
You could have like $1,500 to $2,000 a roof.
That's cool. That's a nice little upsell.
Yeah, it's great. And, rain gutter's easier than roofing, and the margins are a lot higher in gutters.
So you have a gutter machine?
Yeah, we have 2 of them.
Oh, cool. That's really cool. Do the companies that were contracting out work to you hate you now? I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
We're still working with them. You know,
that's great.
They know, but they play very different. The game that they play is very different than what we're doing. So I don't think that, even though we're kind of in the same pool, I don't think we're actually competing with each other.
Yeah, the thing, people get really territorial and nervous about things, but I don't think people realize how many houses there are to go around. There's a lot of business to go around, and there's a very and there's a very small number of people who actually do good work and who are trustworthy and reputable. So like, if you're one of the good guys, you're never going to run out of houses. It's really just a matter of how do you get those leads. It's, but it's, it could be nerve wracking a little bit, when you think there's more scarcity than there is.
Yeah. No, and that's especially in our market the Salt Lake so much for 40 years that every year there's a neighborhood that's turning 30 years old, right. And it's got 500. So there's lots of work, So,
that's really cool.
Then there's a huge variety too. I mean, you can go into one area, you've got very simple gable roofs everywhere, something you can go in there and do in one day, but then you can go to the other side of the valley and you have something that even a lot of professional roofers wouldn't touch because it's so complicated.
You do all of that.
Yeah, we do it all. But, yeah.
If you could change anything about the way we're working and how the system works, what would you change?
The only thing I would change really is trying to get on board like a year ago.
Yeah.
It's been, pretty easy, pretty simple. I mean, it's been painless on my side. It was just, I do wish I would have been a little bit more prepared at first for the lead flow, because I thought, okay, we'll get 4 or 5 leads a week. It'll be great. And then, my phone just started going crazy.
Yeah.
It's an awesome problem, but I wish I would have been a little bit more prepared for it. But
yeah, I mean, listen, if your results out of the gate were typical, I would have warned you. But I had no idea it would be leads for like $8. Like, that was just out of control. Usually it's more like in the $30, $35, $50 even range, which is still great because you can still close 6 to 12 roofs a month, but which is way ROI positive. But 10 a week, closed a week, and then 5 leads a day on our 3, 4, 5 leads a day is just, that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it's a ton.
Yeah,
it's great. A lot.
Yeah, man.
No, my feeling, if things stay kind of consistently in this range, we're gonna close 2 roofs a day every day for a while.
That's just out of control. That's so much fun to hear. I love that. Yeah. That's like, I wouldn't have needed coffee had we started the day with this call. That pumps me up. That fires me up. I love that. So cool, man. What else? Are you taking good photos of all the jobs you're doing, and how do you do?
Yeah,
Like, what do you do with that?
I got a huge repository of photos, and then we've done some. Just recently, we've done some pretty cool houses, some pretty big, steep, complex roofs that we got a lot of drone footage of, which was cool.
Are you posting that on Facebook?
Not yet. We kind of need to go through and edit everything still, but we.
How about the pictures, like pictures of houses and stuff?
Not yet. I probably need to be better about that because I haven't been. But yeah, we have a lot of good stuff.
So you're getting these results without even using your Facebook page yourself at all.
Like we have no content going up. So I think the last post we had on Facebook was 3 months ago.
Wow.
I can't even remember last.
You might as well start uploading. Just it doesn't even have to be formally done. You could be from your cell phone, like, hey, just finish this roof in blah 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 area, and then mention. You could even mention something like, this was an interesting project because blah blah blah. We got over this challenge by doing blah blah blah, yada yada. The client loves the new shingle color, whatever you say, and then just shoot that photo up there. And the thing about it, Zuckerberg wants to monetize things, so he hires people to work on the ads platform, but but you don't reach many people organically by posting on your Facebook page, which is why people stop doing it, because they see that it reached like 33 people, and it's like, why? What's the point? But there's some reason to believe that your ads will work even better if you upload some organic content, just because it kind of signals to Facebook that maybe maybe this page and company is more active in other ways. So
yeah,
can't hurt.
One thing that's been interesting that I've found just talking to people, and a few people that we've actually closed on have told us, like, hey, when we first saw your ad, we're like, this might be too good to be true, and then what they end up doing is they see our ad, they get our name, they hit our Facebook page, they look, then they hit the Better Business Bureau, then they hit our Instagram, they hit our website, they get on the state website and see that we're licensed and all that, and then they go back to Facebook or our webpage and call us.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of leads that aren't even, they're not even filling out the form, but they're seeing the ad.
So in addition to the ones that I'm seeing come through, you're getting people just calling you straight away.
Yeah. Like my phone rings more than it ever has. And a lot of them are not. I mean, it's nowhere near as many as the number of people that are actually filling the forms out, but we probably get 2 or 3 a week that are just calling us, being like, hey, saw your ad, want to see if you're a real company.
And those are probably close at the highest rate of all.
No, they do. Yeah.
Because they've already done their reconnaissance, like, beyond belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the old school people making phone calls off the bat, they've done like hours of research. Yeah, they're like, yeah.
And a lot of those people too have, they've had 5 other bids already. Mm-hmm. They've had, all the big national companies that are in our area come out. They've had a couple local guys, and then, we're the last one through the door, and we usually get it.
That's fantastic. I love it. Cool, man. Well, I'm so happy you shared all this with me. It really just gets me all excited, and I love hearing all this good news. But as always, if there's ever anything you need done differently or better or anything, you just let me know.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think we're going to change our targeting a little bit. I think we want to start reaching out to, I didn't originally want to put Tooele County on there, but there's a lot of roofs out there, and it's very underserved. So it's kind of something that I want to turn on for the summer. But.
What I think we should do for that is actually do a separate campaign and devote a separate small amount of money, maybe $20 a day to that, to start, get it going, so that we don't touch what's working. Mm-hmm. So we don't mess with anything that's currently just bringing you tons of business. And then we bolt that on as an additional campaign. It's obviously, it doesn't cost any more money for you to do that with me, just for the ad spend.
Okay.
But then we'll really be able to separate out, like, is Tooele County as successful? Is it bringing in leads at the same rate? If not, is that okay? Is it still way profitable? And then based on that data, after a few weeks, we can kind of like regroup and say, all right, do we want to lump this into all one campaign, or is it best to keep it separate? And there's pros and cons to both that we can kind of talk about.
Okay. Yeah, but that market, every lead we ran out there, we closed.
Sweet.
100% closed up there.
Wow.
But it seems like Utah's kind of a funny market because people don't like to drive, you know, so it's the same distance from where I'm at to Provo, but because Tooele County seems like it's so far away, if people go out, they charge just an absurd amount of money to people.
Oh, so you're able to kind of swoop in and give good pricing, and they just love it.
Yeah. You just give a regular price. It's the same drive time, and, you know, 20% cheaper than the other guy that came out.
Interesting.
So, kind of it's a weird thing, but
that's great.
But yeah, I think we closed a ton of roofs out.
What you should do, what would be best is you should shoot me a text message with just a little circle drawn or just an outline drawn around where you want that service area to be, like on a map. Okay. And I'll just get that going as soon as I can.
Okay.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
Bryce, thanks so much for the time. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for everything.
It's my pleasure. And if you need me, just shoot me a text or call me.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, man. Later. Bye.
Yeah, bye.